the CEO is naturally allergic to women, so every time he goes for a massage, he strictly forbids female therapists from entering the room. But one day, a newly hired rookie accidentally walked in. Without even greeting him, she started her service. However, the CEO quickly sensed something was wrong. He immediately told her to adjust the pressure. Unexpectedly, the therapist turned out to be a woman. The CEO jumped off the bed in shock. He grabbed her arm and demanded to know who she was. Before the woman could explain, the CEO assumed she had deliberately come to seduce him. He then pulled off her mask, wanting to see what this gold digger looked like. But to his surprise, the CEO, who was naturally allergic to women, not only didn't feel repulsed this time, but actually felt a strange sense of attraction. Meanwhile, the aroma from the incense nearby made the CEO feel increasingly restless, so he asked the woman how much she wanted. Thinking it was a tip, the woman held up her hand and signaled 30. The CEO misunderstood it as her asking for 3 million. Before she could react, he forcefully made a connection with her. The next morning, the CEO noticed a trace of red on the sheets. Only then did he realize the woman was actually a virgin. To compensate her, he immediately handed her a bank card with 30 million on it. This infuriated the woman, who originally had a favorable impression of him. She angrily scolded the CEO, saying she wasn't that kind of person. However, the CEO was convinced that the woman had ulterior motives, because he had repeatedly instructed his assistant that no women were allowed in his room. It turned out that 3 years ago, the woman had been married to her ex-husband for 10 years but couldn't conceive. Her mother-in-law despised her as a useless burden. Even her husband hurled insults at her. On New Year's Eve, he divorced her and threw her out of the house. The woman, hoping to return to her parents' home, was also turned away by her brother and sister-in-law. They accused her of being a disgrace. With nowhere to go, she contacted her best friend. Fortunately, her friend introduced her to a massage job, giving the woman a place to stay. But on her first day at work, she accidentally bumped into the chairman who was visiting the spa. The assistant was shocked by the scene, because the CEO was extraordinarily attractive and naturally allergic to women. He had been single for over 30 years and had never been a real man, yet the CEO seemed to have no aversion to the woman before him. The assistant immediately came up with a plan. He asked the manager to arrange for the woman to give the CEO a massage, but the manager explained that the CEO was always assigned male therapists, and if they sent a female therapist, he feared the CEO would get angry. The assistant assured him that he would take full responsibility for any consequences, so the manager immediately found the woman and asked her to massage the CEO, promising her a tip if she did a good job. Meanwhile, the assistant thoughtfully lit a special aromatic incense for the CEO, determined to make him experience what it felt like to be a man. Not long after, the woman entered and began her work. To her shock, as soon as she spoke, her identity as a woman was revealed. Hearing this, the CEO was instantly furious. He flipped over and grabbed her by the neck, saying that no women were allowed in his room. But when the CEO removed her mask, he was shocked to find that not only did he feel no aversion to her, but his body even reacted strongly. Later, the woman discovered she was pregnant with triplets. As she was at a